That's right. Definitely right.
like that.
You know, we're going to talk about what's been buzzing around the hair salons. IYANLA and Oprah.
OMG.
You know, I was like, you know, what happened? The rumors, and, you know, swirling around, and I believed them. You know, I thought IYANLA walked away. I thought her ego got the best of her. And in some respects, it did. But it was good to see that show, to see them come together, you know, to see them both evolve from 11 years ago.
Well, I have to say, I don't blame IYANLA in the situation. I mean, I was trying to do a lot of background reading, see what actually occurred, and I feel like a person in her position did the best that she could with what was offered to her. I mean, you're someone who had a difficult life, you ended up on welfare trying to raise a family, and then all of a sudden all these opportunities just hit you. And any other person probably would have just spent that money up and been disrespectful and probably wouldn't have even made it to Oprah. So she gets on Oprah. She has an opportunity now offered to her by Barbara Walters to have her own show. And instead of her running with it and just saying, sure, why not, and taking the show, she actually turned it down and went back to Harpo Productions and said, this was what was offered to me, but I want to stick with you. You know, maybe you can push the show a little bit quicker so I can do it with you. So, I mean, I would think that
said, no,
that's honorable.
We can't do that.
Okay, hold that
But I think it's honorable.
I want to roll the clip for people who have not seen the shows, just a minute of a clip. Okay, roll, Zaki.
He said, oh God, what the heck, what did you, I said, what? He said, girl, it sounds to me, and I'm sure it sounds to her, like you trying to protect your deal over here and force her into a deal. Yes. I said, that won't even in my consciousness.
How could you not know that you're saying those words to me?
Because I did lecture, workshop, class, public speak, don't know dit nor doodly about television.
What I accept is that you knew what you were doing when you walked into that room and that you had the intention to force our hand.
Absolutely not.
That is
Absolutely
not true. That is not true?
No, absolutely not. On the soul of my dead child, I will say absolutely not.
You were not coming into that meeting to get us to make a decision for doing a show for you?
Yes, but not with that connotation of do it now or I'm going here. Not because they asked me, now you do it. Absolutely not.
Whoa, if I was a fly on the wall.
When I was thinking about it and thinking about Oprah and how Oprah has gotten to where she is, I often say it's show business. There's a certain amount of business savvy and a certain amount of business edge that takes place behind the scenes that we probably don't even know in terms of how Oprah has gotten to where she's going and the people that she may surround herself with. And I'm just thinking that for Oprah to get to where she's gotten to, there's probably been some times where she's had to do some hardcore negotiations, and the tactic that IYANLA used, not understanding she was using a tactic, Oprah's people might have used in another situation. So that's how Oprah recognized it when IYANLA came at her that way, is just kind of what I'm sensing.
It was just a huge misunderstanding.
Huge misunderstanding.
And what my sources say about that situation was that even after IYANLA saw that, you know, she was, the lawyer had given her her walking papers, basically, that you will no longer be on the Oprah show. She tried to make amends. She tried to call, and her calls were not accepted.
Wow.
And so until now. And so what connected me to that conversation is how often, you know, we have these conversations, or we have this, you know, a pure intent, or, you know, but sometimes we're using words, but we don't hear each other. We're talking past each other. We'll read into what the Pepsi commercial. Oh, he must like white women. How come you just smiling at someone that smiled back? You know, we'll put our biases into everything. And both women did, you know. And so, you know, it just made me feel, or just do some self-inventory on, you know, conversations what I've had with friends or family or what have you, and what I meant, and how, you know, maybe I was, you know, not, you know, perceived in the correct way, where I've made a mistake. But it's good that they took the opportunity to do that.
I thought it was excellent. I thought it was really, really excellent. My first reaction was, this is bizarre. You know, I shared that with like DIETRA, but I thought it was very human and very real, and I commend both of them for being that raw.
Yeah.
And part 2 is next Wednesday.
Yeah, everybody stayed on edge.
Yeah.
Have you guys noticed this is the second show? I mean, there's an apology show with Whoopi. There's an apology show with Roseanne. You know, there's a lot of maybe
Apology,
this is the apology season with Oprah.
Well, 25th, she wants to kind of close a lot of
Close the
open-ended
chapter.
things, and she has the confidence now to just kind of
Nothing
like.
wrong with
We have a phone call. Caller, where are you calling from? And what do you have to say? Briefly.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Yes.
Hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Hello?
What is?
Hello?
Yes.
What is your question?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. What is your question?
Okay, I'll be real quick. I just want to say the Oprah thing is a dead issue because she's not even on our league. She's a paid celebrity. She's in the order. I mean, we're addressing people like this. She doesn't care. I'm gonna tell you, you've never seen her argue with Dr. Phil or all the or Oz or all the other ones. It takes a beautiful black queen like Iyanla to be disrespected by the queen of so-called talk. And I gotta say this to you, Sabrina. I'm gonna tell you, don't disrespect Hotep. It's gonna take every
Okay, thank
Hotep,
you.
It's gonna take every cool to get.
Thank
First
you.
of all, I'm a grown bleep woman, and I can say what I want to say, and I will believe what I want to believe.
Okay.
Thank you. Tell me what to do.
You know, I had talked to people about what happened on the Oprah show last week, and someone told me that if Dr. Phil or Susie Orman or even Dr. Oz would have walked into that room and said the same thing that Iyanla said,
Would she have been treated the same way? Or
yeah,
would
she
they
had
have?
been treated the same way.
We wouldn't know.
Exactly. I don't even want to comment on that because we really don't know.
It seemed like the issue between the two women is that she, you know, Iyanla wanted her own show then. Oprah said, I'm not ready to do something. You're not ready to go. So, but if you have another opportunity somewhere else, go.
And God is telling you to go.
But
go.
I would say,
Right.
but the
Go.
thing is, again, I say it's honorable because obviously she wanted to be with Oprah. So the fact that she didn't take the offer by Barbara Walters was showing that she wanted. I mean, I would expect Oprah at that point to say, okay, well, let me mentor you. Now, if Iyanla said, no, I don't want to go through the mentoring, you know, I'm ready, I want to go right now, then that's on her.
And that was the misunderstanding. And once again, I think you didn't see the whole clip because the way, once again, when she was talking about, what was the terminology she used in terms of God had told her?
Anointed, not
this
appointed
time.
or something.
And, yeah, and
Yeah.
Oprah said, well, I'm not going to argue with God.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Yeah, and
And some people say it was the ego that was talking, but go ahead.
yeah. Otherwise, I think that Iyanla was confused about the process to get her own talk show, and when she said now, she meant now to begin the journey versus Oprah's understanding being now start production.
It took 11 years. What happened during that 11-year period? That's something that we don't know. Iyanla needed a mentor. She did not know what she was getting into. Again, this is a woman who was on welfare just trying to survive. And then all of a sudden she found her gift. And then she found the gift and didn't know what to do or what
And I want to
direction
make
to
a
go
point
in.
there. I wanted to piggyback off of that. Iyanla did say that she was crazy and the pill couldn't
That
do
she
it.
lost some brain cells.
She did. She lost, and the pill
Yes,
couldn't do it, you know?
yes.
And maybe it took her 11 years to get where she is. But also I want to make the comparison that both of them somewhat came from a destructive, somewhat place, not a very good place. You know, Oprah, fortunately, was taken out of that environment when she was 14. Iyanla Vanzant went on past adulthood, you know, 25, 26, or what have you, and decided, because I've read all, mostly, if not all of her books, all, damn near all of them, excuse me, you know, and there's a special place in my heart for Iyanla Vanzant, because she's a person who really touched my soul. You know?
I was fascinated by how much negative self-talk that Iyanla had on herself. That was another bizarre aspect.
It was a very painful conversation, and she was very courageous to say, "Look, I blew it."
Yeah.
You know, and I
was out of
love
my
the fact that
mind,
she
you know,
accepted
she was like-
responsibility where she, you know, played a role in this.
Right.
Both of them played a role in this,
agree
and we've
too.
all
I
had
definitely
that
agree
same
with that.
kind of. You know,
Right.
sometimes we just don't get it right. But fortunately, like her phone calls weren't returned.
Right. Right.
So she couldn't say or do anything at
couldn't
that
say.
point.
Right.
Well, you know, Oprah has all these advisors around her
Yeah.
and telling her
She's
and
more
telling
experienced.
her.
She's been in the
Yeah,
industry.
tell
longer.
her. And
and I think in terms of negotiations too, they were probably like, don't further negotiate with her, versus that hard, let's have a conversation,
Yeah.
let's mentor,
Yeah.
let's fellowship. They were like, no further negotiate. It became
just
business,
ended.
just business.
And she kept saying, you know, I have someone really big in TV. You know, I mean, Oprah's thinking, well, who could it be? Because I'm big. I'm the biggest thing, but not compared to Barbara Walters.
One thing I did get from the interview this week with Oprah Iyanla, when she said, I wasn't ready to receive. And I think that we sometimes sabotage ourselves because of fear. I connected it with that. I also connected with the part when she says that she allowed certain things to happen when she went over to Barbara Walters, a $27 million production, and she did not get an office. She allowed that to happen because she was used to being surrounded by so-called powerful people, bad powerful people.
Who didn't support her.
Yeah, didn't support her. And so that was her familiarity. That's what she was used to.
Some people benefit from our own victimhood.
Right.
And we have to really look at that.
Right,
You know,
right.
because I think we're running out of time. But that's
Yeah,
what I want to say.
yeah.
So Sister Talk will continue to empower.
Okay. All right. I'm DIETRA Kelsey. You are watching Sister Talk TV show. Sometime in March 19th, right, Zaki? We will be coming on every week at 2:00 p.m. live. Come and call in. Thank you again, DIETRA Kelsey. Peace and love. Bye-bye.